The Redskins have the number 2 pick, and most fans here in D.C. want the Redskins to select Chase Young. Talk to us about what Chase Young brings to the table. If you look at his last 2 games, I was just looking at his game log against Wisconsin and then against Clemson. He was sackless. What did you see in those final 2 games? Does it worry you at all?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't blame Redskin fans for wanting Chase Young. He is an incredible talent. He really is. And I'll tell you something about those last couple of games. He was triple teamed, man. You put on the tape and you can almost go anywhere you want, first, second, third, fourth quarter. Wisconsin and who they were playing down the stretch, they went, we're not going to get beat by this guy. Somebody else beat us. He saw more attention than I've seen for a college defensive end in a long, long time. They were occupying at least 2 offensive linemen to his side, sometimes even putting a running back over there to chip block him and getting him a triple team as well. And so that's really why you don't see the stats. And even through that, I thought he was still disruptive in as much attention as they were getting. So, for the Redskins, with them moving on to a different kind of philosophy with Roddenberry, obviously, at the helm. They've got Jack Del Rio as well. More of a 4-3 guy. They'll need more of a hand-in-the-dirt kind of run, like an edge setter. Not just a pass rusher, but they're going to need a guy because of the 4-down lineman that's able to put his hand in the dirt, really defend the run as much as rush the passer. Chase Young's the whole package, man. He is just the whole package when you're looking for something. I would tell you that edge is not the biggest hole or need for that Washington team. When you look at the kind of player that Chase Young is, a lot of fans like picking best player available. At number 2 after Joe Burrow, this guy is clear-cut the best player available. And so when it comes to, how he did down the stretch, please don't worry too much about that. I promise you, the guy was getting double and triple teamed more than anybody that I can count. He is still absolutely a stud and worth that number 2 overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, in the Big Ten championship, when sack clearly was related to the fact that they played him like in the regular wrecked Wisconsin.
He had four sacks in the first match.
So that's exactly what happened. They said, all right, we're not going to let him just ruin our offense again, and that's why they triple teamed him. So that was a smart move. So beyond those 2 guys, give me 3 or 4 names that you think will be surefire top 5, top 6 type players. Andrew Thomas, legit tackle from Georgia. He's got to be up there. Jeff Okuda, stud corner from Ohio State. I'm sure he'll be a top 6 or 7 pick. But give us a few more names that you really like at that top.
Hey, you guys you're naming all my names out here before I get to popping. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm messing with you. I think Isaiah Simmons did a really great job earning some money for himself. The linebacker from Clemson last night showed that he is a true mismatch neutralizing kind of a player. In a day and age where we're seeing all kinds of slot creativity, whether it's with shorter, quick guys, putting your number 1 receiver in the slot, putting a big tight end in the slot, whatever it is, offenses has been using the slot position to make it their X factor, to give them an advantage over the defense for years. I think Isaiah Simmons is a true rare player who can kind of neutralize that. Jeffrey Okudah, like you said there, CV1, he's got the length, he's got the speed, he's got the mentality, got the ball skills. He's everything that you would want in a shutdown corner. I really do believe that. And he's young, too. He's got a lot of development ahead of him. I think the sky's the limit for a guy like that. In terms of the offensive line, you named one that I really like there, Andrew Thomas. I think he's the whole package. I do. Size, quickness. I think he's got good work with his feet. He's so smooth for how strong he is, whether it is against the run or dropping back the pass, getting in vertical sets all the way down and forming a pocket. I think he's really suitable for that. Jedrick Wills is another offensive tackle from Alabama. Played primarily right tackle for Alabama over the last 3 years, but make no mistake, that's no knock on this guy for not being a left tackle. He is very talented, extremely strong, and he's a guy that's flying up draft board. You can't talk about offensive weapons without talking about Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, or CeeDee Lamb. I've talked to so many different draft analysts and even people within NFL circles who it seems like every time I ask them about those top 3 receivers, they give me a different answer for who is wide receiver 1 in this class. So ton of talent for Washington at number 2. And, hey, this could also mean because of how many good guys there are at the top of this class, perhaps they are a team that maybe moves down 1 or 2 spots, maybe a little bit, pick up a couple of other picks and still get a really great player. That could absolutely be in the cards for Washington just because of how talented this draft class is at the top.
Where do you see T. Higgins at the receiver position? I love T. Higgins. Love the size, love the hands. He's not as fast as those other guys you mentioned, but I just think he's going to be a stud with the right team.
Yeah, so going into the year, I was kind of hesitant on T. Higgins. I really was, because we're looking at an NFL age where a lot of offensive coordinators and offensive play callers, they focus a lot of what they call and the types of plays that they want to execute on separation with wide receivers, creating those natural separation throwing windows. T. Higgins doesn't separate real well. You talked about there, he's not the greatest athlete. He's not super fluid. Flexibility is a little bit questionable with him, but for what he does well, being big, extending those arms, catching through traffic, being a big red zone, money down, third down kind of a target, he is legit at that. And so if that is what your team is really missing, I got no problem with that guy going in the back end of the first round. Now, if you're building an offense around him, I'm a little bit hesitant. I've got to see what he runs in the 40. I got to see his agility drills too, but I'd be hesitant there. But as a complementary piece, if he's your big man in that offense, yeah, he could really help you out. I think that he's great at big boy guys.
Yeah.